Hi everyone, Lex Gray here. We're finally doing a solo RPG. This will be a simple one-shot, a suspense thriller based on a character using my name, Lex. He is a amateur paranormal hunter. So think like paranormal hunter, paranormal ghost adventures, ghost hunters kind of world. And the system we're using is a diceless system. It is just a storytelling experience considering my character's skills and um, his personality. So, the game I'm using is a very lesser known one page RPG from itch.io. I will put a link below, not a sponsor or anything, just one I found, called The Rules Are Fictional. It works best with a group, but obviously, this is my solo RPG experience on this channel. So, if you guys have the character sheet in front of you, again, from the website, I will go off the character details that is typically on the side. Now, there are multiple versions of the PDF you can download. This one has the rules on one half and the character sheet on the other. So, my name is Lex. My features are beard, gelled hair, kind of picturing his hair is gelled all the way back. Not like mine. I typically put mine off to a side here, but he has that way back gelled. And he typically wears dark clothing, which is very typical of ghost hunters. They always have a, well, I guess more ghost adventures, which this could be loosely based on. But wears dark clothing, kind of gothic appearance. Um, this character is from SoCal, so Southern California, where I learned to ghost hunt. Uh, I spent my time researching, which has taught me to search and document. I wasn't too sure what to put there, but I figure, my character Lex is so obsessed with trying to find ghosts and haunted places that that's all he really does with his spare time. I also put in here it's depends on if it's true or not. I am also a psychic, which means I can sense spirits. We'll see how far that goes. I think that might be more for comedic tone, but if it does work out with us, depending on the what I'll be using for an oracle, and I'll let you guys know what I'll be using, we'll see how it goes. The most important things I carry with me are my camera equipment, which is used for ghost hunting, and my spirit box, which can listen for spirits. It's that very loud thing that kind of cycles through a bunch of different frequencies or radio stations. I have heard both sides of the spirit box. Again, I'm not here to say I'm a believer or not. I'm just saying I loved watching those shows when I was growing up. Uh, Ghost Adventures was one. Ghost Hunters was my first ones, and then I stumbled on to I think Taps was Ghost Hunters, and then Ghost Adventures was the more like Hollywood style, kind of gripping, all the music, all the edits. It was all there. Like that one was far more eccentric. No, not talking down of Ghost Adventures, but I'm sorry, Ghost Hunters. But for me, Ghost Adventures was my personal favorite. Now the cast has been having some personal issues. They've been having some trouble. I don't recall if one passed away recently or I got arrested. I might be confusing two different groups with one. But anyways, besides that, um, I grew up watching ghost hunting shows and paranormal stuff, so it's always been a very intriguing interest of mine, which kind of inspired me to do solo RPGs a while ago. So, the spirit box is just this loud. It's this box that, in truth, it just cycles through a bunch of radio stations in the immediate area, AM, FM. I'm not too sure. It goes so fast, it sounds like you'll pick up a word or two, which you might think it's, oh, that could be the spirit talking to you. Again, that's the technical explanation for spirit box. Now, the very last section here of the character sheet, the lower half, says during the course of the story, I have acquired the following tools, skills, and afflictions. That's something I'm assuming you fill out as the story goes. Not too sure how long this will last. It could be an hour, it could be a half an hour. It all depends on the cards. So, I will be using uh, Magic the Gathering cards to set up the story and to use them when I need some context. And it could be half of it could just be me thinking on the spot. The other half most likely is going to be these cards. Now there's locations, there are creatures, and there are instance cards mixed in with other types of cards, token creatures. Yeah, anyways, they're very symbolic. They work very well. I've used them before, but for this one, I figure it worked great best because this one's going to be for Halloween. It's going to be horror, suspenseful, thriller, and again, our character is a amateur ghost hunter. Just him. Doesn't have a crew. No friends. No random people picked off the street to be his camera guy, his audio recorder, his team skeptic. It's just him. So Lex is just he's the solo guy here. So again, it's kind of reflects off my channel, myself personally, but we'll see how. Again, I'll try to make his character a little separate than myself. But anyways, um, now let's figure out where we start in what I'm calling Lex Paranormal, which is his LLC right there on the van. Let's start on a island. That's where we're gonna start. It could be off the coast of California, or maybe it's on the East Coast. So I'm gonna say location island. Now I'm going to say it is because my character is from SoCal. I'm gonna say it's just a random island off the coast of Northern California, NoCal, near Oregon. I'm gonna say it's Northern California as it becomes more vegetation, more trees, and more chance of rain, stuff like that. More muggy, getting close to the Portland, Seattle areas. So Northern California, NoCal, and then that card will go back in the will go in the back side of the deck there. Okay, so we're in Northern California. We're on an island. It could be this mansion here. I think the mansion. This was just a random image I drew up here, or AI drew up. But it's probably not going to be where it takes place. Depends on what we draw here. But this could be like a future, if my character survives. This could be like a future, exploration as maybe Lex learns a bit more about ghost hunting, more professional approach to ghost hunting. He actually has a small team in this van here, but for now, it's just going to be himself. So let's draw something. I think a card that probably represents what's happening in the moment. Like, where does our story start for Lex? Oh, an illusion. Okay. Hmm, it's kind of this eerie, dreamy looking sequence. So, I mean, those look like creatures actually like in a lagoon or like in a pond or something or jellyfish. Maybe he is driving on a bridge to this location where he sees some very strange glowy creatures in the water. Let's say that. So, because this won't be a long campaign, I'm not going to document everything I do. But basically, as I'm seeing this card, he's driving on a stretch of a bridge, a long stretch of a bridge, and it's nighttime. It's just like this. It's cloudy, gloomy, and as he's driving, he looks over a bit, and you can see that there are some strange fish kind of going through the water. So it's very shallow water. It's not very deep, and it's a one-way bridge. I mean, there's another. The other side is farther to the left or something like that. It could be two-way. Let's say it's a two-way bridge. So he's looking over, and he can kind of see um, these strange. Now, this could be a symbolism. This could be a hint at the future. I'm going to keep this card off to the side just as a maybe it sets up something that could happen in the future. Anyways, he's driving, and he's just on his way to another site, one he's never visited before. So most likely, he this could be his first big break. Maybe he's been a fan of ghost hunting shows. If this does take place in modern times, or probably early 2010s, let's say it takes place in early 2010s. So as far as like circa I'll put a little note there, early 2010s. So thinking about the camera equipment that he's going to use, the audio recording equipment, all that stuff. So he does have this van. He has this Astro van or whatever, this GMC vehicle, and he's driving to the location. It doesn't have to be this big haunted house, but let's say he pulls up to where the bridge becomes the island, and it turns into a dirt road. Now, as he's driving onto the dirt road, he can see the following, and this will be the next card, Display of Power. That's the next card, and I'm glad my camera does not cut that out. Okay, so it looks like he sees a structure on top of a hill or somewhere in the distance, and he can see a glowing light, which this image above me does kind of work, the moon itself, but maybe it could be the moon. Maybe it is the moon. Let's just say it's the moon. The moon is peeking out from behind a structure, and judging from these pictures, these cards here, it is kind of shaping out to be this castle or this mansion behind my head here. So I'll put this card in the back of the deck, and as he's driving, he arrives to a, well, let's draw another card. What does he arrive to? He arrives to the piercing light. I think I've drawn that card before on camera in my earlier videos. But basically, he arrives to a, oh, okay, so he arrives to a single street light that is flickering. It's the only one on the road, and he's looking around to see where to go. There are probably no street signs, at least he can see. It's just too dark out, and there's just this single street light. Maybe the other street lights are out, so again, the area hasn't really been keeping up with their maintenance, but that single street light is flickering and doesn't exactly help. So he can clearly see with his headlights that there's a path, but he does not see any signs of direction. So, what to do now? Maybe he is lost. Maybe he was told from a source where to go and where to find this location that we're going to. Again, it doesn't have to be this mansion. But this location, this haunted site, is on this island. And it probably is the only structure on the island. Now, again, he saw the moon peeking above this structure in the island, but perhaps we lost it when we got to this forest. So he's kind of in this dip. The island could be pretty big. Let's say maybe it's a few football fields wide. And so as he's driving, he's looking for anything, a sign, arrows pointing to, keep away, stuff like that. That's obviously a hint for him to continue pursuing his objective here. And let's draw one more card to see, let's draw another card to see what happens as he's trying to find directions going to where he's going. Now, we haven't really been using much off my character sheet here, but let's see. Because I mentioned that there are no signs, there's no directions, he's relying strictly off of the dirt road. Maybe the dirt road is the best way to go. So I spend my time researching, which is telling me to search and document. Well, I'm going to assume that Lex, before all this, before he traveled to Northern California and then on to this mystery island here, that he did his research. He did some, maybe he's a bookworm, which I am not a bookworm in real life. I just have a collection of RPG books, which are, I go through them, but I'm not like actually a reader. Like reading novels and fictional books or nonfiction, but again, that's my only real exposure to books is my RPG collection. But this character is a bookworm. I'm going to put that note down here. I'm going to put that as a skill, actually. So I'm giving him a skill of bookworm, and he's notorious, or not notorious, he's just known for reading a lot. So he spends his time at a local library, local branch library, where he has been doing research on this location where we are off, which we are traveling to investigate. And Lex remembers, based on the research, that there is a lack of signage but to follow the dirt path. So let's draw the next card to see if that's true. Okay, so it's a picture. It's a bewitching leechcraft. It's a picture. I think I've drawn this one before, not in this video. But again, there is someone comforting. I think so. Basically, Lex can be seen as that character on the right on this side of the image, and those hands are comforting him, meaning knowledge. His past, he's remembering that. Oh yeah, just stick with the road. There's a lack of signs here. He was expecting signs, but maybe the book never meant that the research he did didn't exactly explicitly say that. So he has to rely on just the dirt road. Okay, so as he's driving, he does eventually get to somewhere of importance, and that will be the next card here. And so this card will be the deciding factor of what exactly is he going, where exactly he'll be investigating. And then now it's obviously not going to be this hellscape of a location, but it's going to be a large gate. So he does arrive to a large gate. And this large gate is very intriguing and very promising to him. So he arrives to a large gate, and it is locked. It's closed, obviously. So he parks his car. It is kind of shaping out to be the image behind me. But he parks the van, turns it off. He steps outside the van, and he's looking around. He has his flashlight. I'm gonna put flashlight as an item because that could be very helpful for especially for investigating ghostly haunted spaces. And so he pulls his flashlight out and he aims it at the gate. He looks around to see if there's any like a mailbox or something that says residence of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Anything that is from what he remembers in the book. So going back to what he researched in the past, let's draw a card. And as he's looking around, he sees something on the gate on the side. You guys are the first one to see it. Scorched earth. So as he's pointing the flashlight through the gate to the fence, the entire lawn of this structure, it could be at this point it's probably a mansion, but yeah, because all the cards I have are pretty much the same. I do not have a lot of locations cards, unfortunately, so I can't really. I might as well just say it is a mansion. You know what? Just for cliche sake, let's just say it's a mansion. And so he sees there's a lot of burnt landscaping and burnt trees and around the this mansion. So he flashlight is moving up the ground and can then see the entrance to what is this giant mansion that he pulled up to. So let's just go with it. This image here is perfect. Okay, so are there any lights on that he can see coming from the mansion? Probably not. He probably would have seen the mansion already, but he does see a lot of the dead trees. Then he starts to hear some owls in the distance hooting. Maybe Harry Potter's nearby. Uh, Hogwarts is right down the street, which explains a lot. So basically, he can hear some owls flying, or he sees something flying in the sky past the moon. He's creeped out, but he loves this environment. This is entirely his life, so he's like super excited, but he's trying to keep himself together. Doesn't want to get all giddy. And then he walks up to the gate, closer to the gate. He looks for a padlock or anything, a chain lock. And I'm just going to say that it is just closed. It's not locked. So, as he walks up to the gate starts to slowly open by itself. And he's like, kind of. Now, there is a breeze. Let's just say there's a breeze behind him. At first, the gate opens up by itself. Creaks open slowly. Not fully. Maybe one side touches the ground, some dirt piled up. One gate does not open all the way, but there's a breeze behind him from behind his back and blows past him towards the mansion. So he's a little shiver. He gets some goosebumps. He's like, "Oh, this is crazy." So he remembers that he has to have a reason for being here. He can't just walk into this random and trespass. I believe that there is someone who sent him here, which is the reason why he had permission to even investigate. He's trying to do things by the book. I think he truly is trying to use his LLC or like his hunting, this business to hunt, to do ghost hunting legitimately. So, couple possibilities here. He met someone at the town nearby, uh, on the shore to investigate this haunted mansion. But did they own the mansion themselves? Maybe it's a family member that owns the mansion. So, we'll take a step back here. And we're going to say that he met a family member who owns the mansion and gave him a key for it. They say it's been abandoned for 10 plus years. It's been abandoned. No, let's say it's been abandoned for 40 years. So, mansion, I'll write down some notes here. Mansion, abandoned for, let's say, 40 plus years. And he met with the family member. So I'm going to put the mansion key as an item of here, a tool. And yes, so the family member gave him permission, allowed him to investigate. So maybe the family member wants him to investigate to see if it's worth keeping the property or just bulldozing it, like turning it into a museum. They have plans for it. The family that owns this land, owns this mansion, has plans for the mansion. but they are too afraid to go near it because there's been too many. Perhaps they've tried themselves throughout the generations, the decades, and it's just too scary. They don't want to go near it. There's been bad experiences. There's been sightings of ghosts and your typical Scooby Doo situations. So he is here to investigate. Probably not the first one, probably not the last one, but he is here on his own and he has opportunity to investigate. So let's say the gate does open up by itself. He walks, he does have this equipment on him. Maybe he has a bag, he has some stuff. So his van's turned off, the lights are not on as you see in the image. He walks up to the mansion, and as he steps onto the wood, onto the deck, he walks up to the main door, and the door is locked. The door has a very cold touch to it. And he cannot turn the handle. He pulls a lock out, or he pulls the key, and unlocks the door. It clicks. Doesn't open it yet. He looks around. He's curious, then maybe he heard something, and so he opens the door. Some cobwebs come off the door, and he looks in. Flashlight pointing. He sees the inside of the mansion. It is a vast foyer. There is a stairwell in the middle, kind of going up, and maybe some steps are missing. But this place is just decrepit, is decaying, it is old, it is just going to fall apart. So he is going to step in very slowly. And as he steps in, let's draw a card to see what happens. This. So ground, the gate breaker. It's a vehicle, legend of artifact, blah, blah, blah. But basically, it's a vehicle. He sees something in the distance that looks like a toy. And it's one of those creepy little rocking horses from like the early 30s, 40s, 50s. Um, just an old rocking horse. And he sees with his flashlight, he's pointing at it, and the rocking horse is just kind of stopped. Like it was moving for a second and just kind of stopped. And Lex is just, he's just pauses for a moment, keeps his eye on the horse, and doesn't move. So again, he's shivering. It's cold out. Maybe it's a winter night. And so he closes the door. He needs to find what's called, they do this in the Ghost Adventure show, home base. It's an area where he can set up uh, his equipment. Maybe he has a generator, because I doubt there's any power in this place if it's been abandoned for 50 years. And so he needs to find a place to set up. So he walks slowly through the foyer. Doesn't want to. He's not too sure if the ground is safe or not. If the deck is old, so he can hear the wood creaking. He walks past that horse. He looks to the left. There's probably like a living room. There's a huge giant bookshelf, which intrigues him. That has to be one of the things that catches his eye. He turns to the left, and he walks towards a bookshelf. Let's say there's a dining table kind of in the middle. There's some books laid out. The window is open. The curtains are kind of moonlight shining through. The curtains are moving in the wind. And he looks to the right. He can see like the kitchen, or at least an entryway into a kitchen. And so he walks up the bookshelf. Now, there's a lot of books. Not a lot of things have been taken from here. This place has been locked since. Maybe I'm assuming the owners do occasionally visit, make sure it's never been broken into, or nobody's dumb enough to go here except for our own character. So Lex looks to the books, and you can see the books are like a various different types of books. Let's say he finds one that is about this. Maybe this is flesh. A book about the human body, the human anatomy. So he's like, okay, so that catches his eye. That's a sorcery books. That's a sorcery card, so that goes there. Okay, so a lot of the books are like medical books. The human brain, the psyche, everything like that. Just different various medical professional books, all super old from the early 19th century or early 20th century. And while he's looking for the books, then the following thing happens. He hears chatter. It freaks him out. He drops a book that he's looking at. He hears chatter. He hears voices from behind him, probably in the distance, probably in the way of the stairwell, in that direction of the stairwell. He turns around, flashlight pointing, goes really quick, and there's no more voices. So he could have sworn he heard, again, this base image kind of sums up voices, people talking. He heard two voices. So what he's going to do is pull out his flashlight or the his spirit box. He walks into back to the foyer, kind of briskly walks, and then he pulls the spirit box from his bag. He turns it on. The spirit box does its thing. It's going through all the radio stations, but in ghost hunting in the ghost hunting world, it's going through all the different types of invisible waves of light and of sound and everything. So it's going through everything, and he's walking around with it. He says, "Is there someone here?" Maybe he mentions the family name. The spirit box kind of is still cycling through stations, but then it does say something, and it says this, which is web. It says this: "Burn the witch." Instant. Ever since the ritual, Ryla didn't have an appetite at the dinner table, but her long. Oh, well, the earlier card was dinner, was people talking. It was an image of like, oh, it looked like it was an image of food or some kind of festivity, some kind of eating, like a supper. So the voice in the spirit box says, "Time for dinner," and he stops. He almost drops the spirit box. He regains his composure again. He's new at this, or he's an amateur, so we can't. Everything he experiences has to be documented, and he's writing this down in his journal. Time for dinner, and so I'm gonna write that down here. Time for dinner, and he kind of freaks out a bit. So he turns off the spirit box, or he keeps the spirit box going. He said, "Who said that? Are you here? What did you mean by time for dinner?" And the spirit box keeps doing its thing. He looks upstairs with a flashlight. He's holding the spirit box and has a flashlight pointing upstairs. It's like red carpet going up the stairwell. There's some missing steps, like some holes in it. And the flashlight, so it's it tilts up, it goes up the stairwell, and eventually gets to the top of the flight of stairs. And the flashlight reveals the following: siphon essence. That's a very a piece of machinery. I don't know. It's like he is light. His flashlight goes out, maybe? I don't know. Like, what could this mean? I don't want to say like a piece of machinery, but maybe he does. You know what? That person in the back corner of the image, he sees that. He sees like for a brief moment, he sees a reflective glasses. Oh, the glasses. Let's just say he sees glasses. So he sees the reflective glasses just for a moment. The flashlight reflects, and he steps back. He points it back again, and they're still there. So as he holds his flashlight in that direction, at the top of the flight of stairs, it is it's a small like shelf, like a cabinet with a pair of glasses that are just sitting on top of it. So for a second he thought he saw someone just standing there, but then as he regained his composure and points the flashlight back at the table, it's just a pair of glasses that he just happened to, like bifocals that just happened to, the flashlight just reflected and as humans we just have the tendency to we want to see something, but in reality it could be something completely simple, explainable. Um, and at first he was expecting to see a person, which he probably did mentally, but then revisiting what it was just a pair of glasses. So he's like, huh. And he puts the flashlight down. He still needs to set up his home base. So this moment is documented, but it doesn't hasn't gone anywhere. So he turns off the spirit box. He puts it back. He goes back to the living room, the bookshelf. He sets up his equipment. He sets up his computer, his old computer, a couple of equalizers and some audio equipment and blah blah. And so I'm gonna put home base in the living room. Sorry, you guys cannot see this. In the living room. That was my intention, actually. Just wanted to show my face mostly. And as he sits down and prepares, let's say a couple of hours pass by. Nothing really eventful happens. It's probably midnight. And as it reaches midnight, let's draw a card. He gets hungry. So he grabs some food from his bag, and he's getting a little tired. Nothing's really happened since that earlier experience. And he starts eating. He has some camera set up in the hallway. Maybe there's some cabling going to the hallway. Some what do you call it? Some night vision cameras in the hallway. Maybe he has one in the other room in the kitchen. So he has a little setup going, which we kind of sped through in the story, and he has things being monitored on his computer. So he's thinking maybe I should go upstairs while he records what happens. While he records what happens downstairs, he can be upstairs because again, it's just him. So he grabs his flashlight, he grabs his spirit box, he grabs his temperature meter, all the usual doohickeys. The temperature meter. I'm gonna write that down. Temperature meter, and what's another? He has his camera. We already have that, in fact. So night vision camera. I'll put that down. I do have camera equipment, but I want to be more specific. So he goes upstairs finally. He finally goes upstairs, which was his intention in the beginning, and he slowly walks up the stairwell. He gets to the top of the stairs. He sees the glasses. He picks them up and kind of looks at them a bit, like LA Noir, and puts them down. As he gets upstairs, something terrifying happens because I just drew the card. Yeah. So dark withering. There is. It catches him off guard. So yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. Again, this game doesn't have any HP. Doesn't have any rules for battle. Doesn't have any. Um, I'm not really using a dice to roll yes or no or like probability of like using the Mythic game and GM emulator. Strictly off this. So he encounters an actual spirit. This deadly. We're gonna go with the card physically. Like what you guys see is what he encounters for a brief moment. As he's looking at the glasses, he puts them down. He hears a loud screech coming from a bedroom door to his left. The door, it looks like it bursts open, and there is this spirit that just jumps out and flies right through him. He gets tossed back and falls down the stairs and knocks over a camera. So, again, this thing pops out. I'm going to say spirit lunges out of this bedroom and knocks him down the stairs. It's a pretty good flight of stairs, but 2 stories. He's injured. Maybe he busted his back or he bruised his arm. But let's say he's hurt. We're not really again. There's no HP in this game. I'm just assuming he's hurt. And so he falls down. He hits the camera over and knocks it over and it breaks. The tape falls out or something like that. He is he unconscious? I'm going to keep this card close by. Let's draw the card to see if he is like unconscious. He actually gets knocked out. This card will decide that factor. Titanic Brawl. He is Brawl. He is fighting to stand up. He is hurting to get up. He's not unconscious. This is good. The card is actually good. So he's actually trying to stand back up as he's hurt because what he just saw was this life-changing event that maybe he has experienced before in his early childhood or something like that, which led him on this path of ghost hunting, which is typically the which is typical of any ghost hunter TV show. They always like I had experience in my childhood or I saw this and I've been on this path of ghost hunting, that kind of stuff. So he gets up slowly. That card kind of deals it for me. And he stands up. He looks at the camera, it is toppled over, but it was the only camera facing the stairwell. He knocked it over. So he quickly picks it up. Now the camera is hooked up to a DVR type of system. He picks up the camera, puts it back, and faces it, but it's broken. It's just done. He knocked over, he crushed it. Maybe he's my size, big guy, he crushed it. So he runs over to the computer. He goes through the data of that camera. He replays what just happened. And let's draw a card to see what he sees on the camera. Because again, Ghost just busted out a floating disembodied spirit just busted out of the guest room upstairs or at bedroom and flew right through him, causing him to fall back and almost break his neck. Fire of Orthane? So, Orthanc. So basically, it's more of the visual I'm going off here, but it doesn't look good. So the camera just shows a bright yellowish red light coming from the upstairs. To in his eyes, he saw the spirit clear as day, clear as night, however you want to reference it. But to the camera, it's just a big glow, and it blinds the camera's pixels so much they go bright. So when you blind a camera's pixels, the sensor, CMOS sensor, CCD, the pixels usually go white. And so it does that. It actually blinds the camera, and the brightness kind of goes away. And then he's falling down the stairs and knocks it over, and the camera goes digital noise. So that's what happens in that moment. And he kind of hits the table in anger. Um, he's frustrated. The camera shakes. And he yells, or he doesn't yell. He goes, "Damn it!" He's upset because the camera caught something, but it was just it looks like an artifact, a light artifact on the screen. It's not convincing enough to say, "Hey, there's a ghost here. Pay up." He's here to investigate and document, but unfortunately, it did not go well. So, his first major encounter with an actual spirit, in his eyes, he saw it, but in the camera, didn't see it. So, let's say the night the another few hours pass, and he's kind of he's badging himself up. He has a first med kit. He has some bandages around him. His back hurts. His neck is kind of cracking it. He's hurt. He's thinking, should I go back to town? Go get to the ER. I don't think he's bleeding out really. I think he just kind of busted his again. He just kind of scuffed himself up. He's hurt a bit. Like 6 out of 10. I think that's how his current condition is. 10 out of 10 is the best. I think he's like 5 or 6 out of 10. He's not out, but he's just hurt. So he's drinking some water and he's thinking, well, maybe I should go investigate that room upstairs. So he gets up slowly. He's still in some pain. He goes upstairs. He put a replacement camera. He moved another camera over to take and record, and he's holding his own camera. Maybe he didn't have one from earlier. I might have goofed up and forgot about that, but he doesn't. Now he actually is holding a camera, and he's walking slowly towards the door where that ghost popped out of. He opens the doorway and he sees the following. I love these instant cards. They really give a lot. He sees something like that. So it's a bedroom. Maybe there's a hamper. There is a bunk bed. There is basically it's a bedroom. Maybe it's a room for I don't know. It's a newborn, like a newborn baby's room. Like if there's a baby carriage or something. I don't know. It's like the walls are kind of like torn. The wallpaper is kind of torn off. Kind of it rolled down. There's a window outside, looking out to the outside. But he sees a spinning. What do you call those little ballerina, dancing ballerina toys? It's on a little swindle, spins around. But anyways, it's spinning and it's making some noise. The noise is very faint. It's kind of broken, but it's shining off the moonlight from outside, and it's banging on the window. He walks up to it. He looks around. He walks up to it. He's recording it the whole time. Again, everything right now he's documenting because he made a mistake and not using a camera from earlier. So, again, he's amateur. That kind of fits. It kind of helps. Now, I totally forgot that he is a psychic, self-proclaimed psychic. So, as he's looking at the this little ballerina dancing thing, his sixth sense kicks in. His psychic abilities kick in, or his psychic sense kicks in. He he touches the little toy, and he his vision. There's a vision. He sees a vision, and it's this. Oh, there is a well, it's someone kneeling down. There's also Clan the Precious. Oh yes, the ring. I forgot. This is a Lord of the Rings card. Yeah, it's this Schmigel. Anyways, yeah, there's someone holding something. He sees a vision of someone at a oceanside, like a beach, at night, holding something with their hands and kneeling down. So we can take this literally, not the dead body behind the guy, but Schmiegel, but if I recall his name correctly. But yeah, he sees a vision of outside, I'm holding something. He puts the little ballerina thing down. He steps back and he's gonna write that down. So we put the camera down before that, and he's thinking, who was that? So while he's in the room, he hears another voice, and it's coming from the hallway behind him. And there's a lot of voices happening in this hallway. So he goes outside. And he has the camera showing moving around, and the camera does catch something. It catches this. Not a whole full battle royale between two forces, but he catches someone walking by, like a body heat temperature. The night vision camera picks up, or the camera has a temperature gauge on it, and it sees a warm body going by the camera. So he sees it, then he follows it, and as he walks around the corner, there's a long hallway, and there's nothing there. The body's gone, and so he puts the camera down. He's like, "Shit, what did I just see?" So that's all that happens for the next few hours. He caught he Now he goes back downstairs. Let's let's take a step back here. Not doesn't A couple hours don't pass by just yet. He takes a few steps back. He goes downstairs, goes to his system, puts the captured system footage into the computer, documents it. He's very neat and organized. I said document everything. He goes over the footage, and the footage does actually capture a full person body moving by the camera, and then him going down the hallway, and then it's gone. So that's another good evidence for him. So to Lex, it's obviously this place is haunted. The biggest one was that big fucking giant jump scare. So while he's down there going through the camera data, he then sees, whoops, that's the same card. He then sees this on the footage. Maybe he missed it before. Surrounded by orcs. So we got some halflings, or halflings, sorry. I don't piss off half a nation here. Hobbits here in the image, and it looks like he's surrounded. So maybe it's a picture in the video. So when the video is showing, the final moments of the video before he stops it, he's recording down the hallway where he lost the spirit walking down the hall. He sees a picture frame of an image of this, a family. So he goes back upstairs with the camera and walks up to the picture frame and records it. There's something about the picture frame that looks familiar. The guy in the picture, maybe it's a family of four. It's the husband, wife, and two kids. The guy that in the picture, the father, is the same person he saw in the vision. So I'm going to say picture frame of family, and I already have an idea for the ending here too. So picture frame of family, linked to the vision he had, and he then realizes that the guy in the picture is the one he saw at the lake. So he's thinking, try to remember the research he did that someone died here. The family that was here. Okay, here's what he researched. The prior owners of this, what was this, like an Airbnb? But a family lived here, and the father went crazy and killed the family, and then killed himself. So he's thinking, why would he see a vision of the father kneeling down at the beach? Might have been nearby. So he's connecting the dots. He's like, okay, so the room that he was in with the little ballerina thing might have been the kids' room. And so he looks to the right, and it's the main bedroom of the parents. So he opens the door slowly with the flashlight and camera recording. Does not want to mess this up. He opens it up, and to reveal a large bed with the following, huh, renewed faith. There is, this is creepy. There's someone in the bed. There are two, like, lumps in the bed, like, kind of like a body marks on the bed. like the sheets are lifted up, like someone's actually sleeping, but he doesn't see the head on a pillow. He just sees the sheets lifted, like a body mark. So he's got the flashlight and the camera aimed at the bed. He walks up slowly. He's about to put his hand on the sheets. Okay, so Lex is about to put his hand on the bed sheets and remove it to see, like, why this place is abandoned for 40 plus years. Why would there be people in bed here? A couple of homeless people just chilling in here? I doubt it. So let's draw a card to see what exactly happens here. Again, he's an amateur. Maybe he could have done this differently. Maybe could have gone around to see. But again, he's in his early days of being Batman, so this is year one. Here's what happens. Jeez, I this isn't The Godfather. I don't think there's going to be a headless. There's a horse's head in the bed here. But basically, fear fire foes. Open the name of Mordor. Maybe it is a Hmm. I have some. I don't know. I have some ideas, but I'm wondering what you guys think too. Especially if this was live, that'd be great. But anyways, red. Okay, let's look at the visual here. There's the color red, pretty dominant. There's a guy on a horse. This is Mordor reference. He's wearing a suit of armor. Uh, it's deceiving, maybe, or it's like it looks hellish. So he's about to pull the sheet up, and okay, I have an idea here. Let's take it literally. He pulls the sheet up, and there's fire. There's a blaze in the bed that combusts, and it throws him back. Like he doesn't get pushed back; he just steps back in fear. The whole bed catches fire. Okay, and then it's somewhat a fancy bed. It has these poles in the front. Kind of, it's a very this whole mansion could have been very upper classish, pretentious area, uh, family, and so the bed catches fire, and it's red. He's recording it. He's looking through his camera lens. Does the camera see the fire? So he sees it with his own eyes. He sees the fire. This entire bed spontaneously combusted. But does the camera see the fire? Let's see what the camera sees with the next card. Expose the daylight. Lies. Okay, so lies cannot long withstand the harsh light of day. Nope. Okay, so the camera does not see the moonlight's coming through the window. The moon's everywhere, practically. 360-degree moon. It shines through the window through the curtains, and the moonlight's casting a light on the bed. He sees a fire. He's looking through the camera. He does not see the fire. It's just pillows. Like the pillows are laid on the bed to make it look like there's someone there. He looks back he looks back at the bed. The fire's gone. That's it. And so like he stops the camera. He panicking. He rewinds a bit. It's probably a mini DV camera or maybe a digital M2 card. Um, he's going through the footage. Does not see this burning inferno. What this means is his psychic powers kick in, or his psychic sense kicks in. And so as he's looking through the footage, he's thinking, maybe this is a portal to hell, which has been a very common stereotype with ghost hunting shows. It's a portal to hell. So maybe this mansion is built on a portal to hell. And so he's just he's seeing these random encounters, these hellish demon from earlier, the voices, it's dinner, blah blah blah, and now the bed catches fire. Which again, when the parents slept, this is they are the most they're the oldest of the family, so they have the most I don't know, prominence presence in the household. So he sees a picture frame on the side. He walks up to the picture frame and grabs it. And when he looks at the picture frame, the following happens. He gets another vision. And he sees the wife. He sees the wife doing this. The wife is probably reaching her hand out to him. And she says, "Help us." And he drops the picture frame and cracks. He steps back. Okay? So, he is just this is beyond him. This is the most activity he's ever encountered as an amateur ghost hunter. So Lex he doesn't run. He walks out of the room, and he's like walking backwards. He turns around. He looks down the hallway, and he sees the following down the hall. This, literally an angel. I don't know if it'll be like an actual angel or this could be a demon. So I don't know. It's a bright white. It says the angel remembers her past lives like dreams. Her song held up meadows. Her blade drove back darkness. Her wings carried her across the ages. So maybe he sees a something out the window. So if he's looking down the hall, he can see out the window there is a winged. Oh, it's the owl. It's another owl. Okay, so earlier we heard owls. And so he sees an owl flying. Again, we must be across the street from Hogwarts. He sees the an owl fly at the window, like just kind of sitting there looking at him, and then it flies away. Creeps not a bit, but not unusual. So he walks to the window, looks outside, and he can see the owl flying around in the sky. And then it starts to fly like towards the sea, towards the beach of the island. And so he's thinking, the beach. Like this is a hint. Like whatever's happening in the supernatural, the vision he had from earlier, but the father character is at the beach, crouching down with holding something. So he goes downstairs. He walks past the door. He doesn't turn off any of his equipment. Leaves it all in there. He goes through the yard. Doesn't go outside the gate. He goes in the distance and he sees the owl in the sky. So he has his flashlight. He's recording. He's walking down this path that goes to the beach, and the gate. There's an opening in the fence, and it's like a little. There's a beachfront. He goes up to the beach. There's a boat there. There's like a paddle boat, or it's just a broken boat, kind of partially sunk into the water. And it's there's sand. And he walks up, and what he sees is the following. Again, I love using these cards. That's perfect. So, traveling minister. Okay. Well, here it is. This could be the climax. So basically, uh, he sees the father, the actual spirit of the father. He is sitting there, exactly from the vision that we saw from earlier, holding something. So his back is turned to our character Lex, and he's holding something, or he's doing something with his hands. He's kneeling down, or he's crouching down, doing something with his hands. So again, it's this. He's holding something. It doesn't have to be this exact like thing with whatever that is, but priests of the Guardian sect travel to the farthest reaches and spread hope and healing, even in the darkest of times. It's basically a human cleric. So, uh, basically, as he does that, I'm gonna finish that card off. He stops. He puts his flashlight down, but it gets recorded. The the ghostly spirit figure does not move. It's just kind of sitting there. It's partially transparent, and it's kind of floating a bit. And so he's recording. Now, Lex looks to the viewfinder, and does the camera see this? I think it does. Let's see what the cards say. Yep, it does. This is like baffling. This is evidence for him. Like this is overwhelming. So he actually is recording an actual spirit in front of him. So it's not just the body temperature of someone walking by. It's not a big blob of light that breaks the camera lens or the sensor over with pixel blow. But he actually does see. It's overwhelming. He actually sees the spirit of the father on the beach. So father, spirit on the beach, and he's recording it. He gets a little closer. Lux carefully goes down the steps, and one of the steps creaks. The spirit freaks. The spirit kind of jolts, turns around, and then he can see the father's face is like part of the father's face is a gunshot wound to the head. So it's like you can see his skull, his eyeball is missing, and Lex freaks out. He like jumps back at his face, and so the spirit shouts, and then like just disappears as it just goes away. But then it drops something. So Lex falls back on his. He falls back, on his butt, and then he like he's recording the camera. He's like what he just saw was insane, and but he sees something on the grounds where the father character was sitting or crouching. He gets up with the camera. He's recording the flashlight also, and he reaches for the item. The item is the following. I hope this works. Ironic. This person's actually holding something. So, doomed dissenter, if I'm pronouncing that right. The most dangerous place to be in the Keswick is alone. So, this guy's holding a candle. Maybe it's a lantern that's still. It's a lantern that's still lit. So he picks up a lantern that is still lit, and I think here's what happened. So Lex is kind of connecting the dots again. His character, our character here is a bookworm, so he's very smart. He's connecting the dots. So I think here's what happened. Lore wise, I think the father went crazy. Again, if there is truly in this world, is obviously there's a portal to hell. So the portal to hell contaminated the family, made his father go crazy. He killed his two kids, he killed his wife, and he was about to flee, about to escape, run away. He doesn't want to go back to town. He went to his boat. But something with the lantern, I maybe it's a lantern. Is it really a lantern? Maybe it's a picture frame. I don't know. Like I'm trying to feel what object would be have significance here. Maybe it's a gun. So yeah, I think it is a gun. Okay, so yeah, I think he was torn between. Does he end it now? I don't. Sorry to get this turn this really to a really dark story. Does he end it now, or does he escape? Does he run away on the boat? He's holding a gun. Obviously, he went the dark route. So it is a. I just want to say it's a gun at this point. It is just. It's an old revolver, and it's just. It's kind of buried into the sand, like it's dropped, and the sand's kind of covering it. Not a lot of people have been here since probably, or maybe he digs it up. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I'm trying to think of if the father, if he did actually die here, and eventually the cops showed up and searched for his body. They found him. The gun would have been picked up for evidence. So does that make sense logically? I want to say no. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not a gun. Maybe he did kill himself here. Again, sorry for getting really dark. But maybe he finds like a pocket watch or some kind of significant item. So I'm gonna say it's a pocket watch. It's just some item. I was torn between lantern, the gun, pocket watch, but something simple. Maybe he like the chain of the pocket watch is poking out of the sand. It's been there for years, and so he digs it up and he finds it. He opens it up and there's a picture of his family in the pocket watch. So he pockets it, and so he goes back to his van. Then maybe he goes back inside. He packs his stuff up. He locks the door. Goes back to his van, and he gets back in the turns the car on, and he's just recollecting himself. He's thinking what just happened. Like what did you see? So he goes to the camera footage. The footage did capture um the father's spirit, and but not his face. Because when he turned around, the camera glitched and he fell back. So he decided it's all the sun's almost about to rise, so this whole day was spent, this whole night was spent. He turns around, drives back to town. He returns back to town, and the following morning, he gets some rest, he gets some shut eye. He meets with the owners of the land maybe around noon, and this happens. Grotesque demise. So he shows the homeowner, the landowner, the footage, and the owner is blown away. He says nobody has ever gotten footage this good, and so he pays Lex for his services, and the truth has been revealed finally. He says, after all these years, we've never really got any documentation of anything supernatural as this clear, as this strong of evidence. So he gives the footage over. He copies over to the house, the landowner, the family that owns it, and they thank Lex for his time and service, and they pay him X amount of money, and that's it. That's the story. I think that it's a simple ending and nothing really. He hurt himself. He had a few run-ins with some spirits, but I think like it kind of ties into the backstory to this mansion. Pretty, pretty cliche, nothing original, but like I liked it. I hope you guys did too. Um, I figure it's fitting for just, it's almost Halloween. So that's it. Yeah, the rules are fictional. Let me know what you guys think of the game. I still miss rolling dice sometimes, but like it's a heavy focus on the narrative. So maybe next time I can do Fate. Fate is a great blend of like just, heavy on narrative, but there is dice rolling and you do have skills. So there's always that. But I wanted to try something different this time, like a very very heavy rule narrative freeform game. So that's it. Hope you liked Lex Paranormal. This was his first big mission, his first big investigation, and it was just him. And maybe next time, if I do this, I'll probably have a few more characters. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.